You know the great thing about being a Ravens fan is at the end of the day is when, besides all the scrutiny, all the oh you're rolling over your defense, oh your quarterback sucks, yada yada, or questionable defense, or they only show up when they're playing crappy teams or whatever. Bottom line is at the end of the day, at least I can turn around and say, but we won it all, didn't we? And not once, but twice. Our quarterback has a Super Bowl ring and an MVP? I'm sorry. Do you have any of those? Detroit Lions fans? Arizona Cardinals fans? Los Angeles Chargers fans? And yes, I'm well aware that I'm pretty sure the Lions and the Cardinals won championships pre-Super Bowl era, but I'm only 18, so my history only goes as far as the Super Bowl era. And that's about it. I'm sorry to you older folks who are around, but I'm a youngin', and that's where my mind is. So, that is that. And also my favorite team happens to be from 96. Since that was 96? I think so, yeah. So, just about as young as the franchise. But other than that, again, we won. You haven't, so who am I to say anything? Welcome to the Week 7 of the 2018 NFL season. I'm your host, Cody P. from the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow and I roll intros. Why do I do that? I don't know. But I have my rights. And let's get into our everything. Last week, straight up, fantabulous rebound with an 11-4. Yes, some have done better, some have done worse. But I think by far this has been our best week, straight up. And then against the spread, I'm on a mild 7-7-1. Hey, on the bright side, I stayed at 500. And we got another push, so you win, you lose some. Also depends on where you took your line. I think that push came from the Vikings-Cardinals game, where it was a plus 10, or I believe I took the minus 10 or the plus, I don't remember what I took, but it pushed because they only won by 10 exactly. So, and on some lines it was 11.5, which is why I lost it in the pick'em thing, in the prognosticators spread picks, because I think I was set at 11.5 and I took the minus. But luckily for me, these videos are different. So at the end of the day, when you judge me for my picks, judge them in this video, not anywhere else. And I don't know what those add up to, but they're here, so we can see that. And I can say, yay, improvement. We're improving. We're doing good. We're going to keep going up on a Tuesday, even though the day is Wednesday, but this won't be released till Thursday. Because go me and scheduling and editing. And yes, I did buy a $30 t-shirt from the Joe Flacco website. Because, unlike some of you nerds, I support my QB through hell or high water. And I will be buying a JT1 as soon as I get my next paycheck, which by the time this video is released will be tomorrow. So, that is that. I'm already out of breath. Let's get into the picks. So, my first game we're going to look at has good old Carolina heading to Philadelphia. We're according to the picks page right now. Not it'll be adjusted on the final, but according to this, the Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 5 points. And I guess to some of those who don't know this, I should explain this quickly. When the odd makers make the spreads, 3 points is given to the home team automatically. So give or take more, if this were on a neutral field, it says Philadelphia would win by 2, deeming Philadelphia the better team than Carolina, which I would agree with them at this point. Philadelphia has had some rough patches, but as the reigning Super Bowl champions who just got their star, potentially MVP candidate quarterback back, they're going back into full shape, beating up on the Giants team last week, 34-13. Rounding off, going back to even numbers, keeping it in a tight in a division that has still been a little lackluster, but you can get away with it, winning it away at 10-6, and then we'll see how Carson Wentz performs in the playoffs, because I still believe Philadelphia will be making the playoffs this season and winning the division. Carolina's coming in after a really Carolina Panthers loss to a Washington Redskins team, who with Alex Smith is starting to mix me up a little bit. I mean, they had that blowout loss to the Saints on the previous Monday night game, but now showed up to beat the Panthers, so maybe they are an Alex Smith-like team who probably will go 8-8 this year, maybe 9-7, which if which does not bode well for Philadelphia, because Philadelphia still has already got 3 losses on their season record, so they need to get a lot of good wins to even it out and keep pace. But anywho, this game is a 5-point favorite for Philadelphia. Carson Wentz and the offense have been looking good. Defense has done its job well enough. And Cam Newton's a shaky quarterback. Last time these two teams have played, Cam Newton threw 3 interceptions after that controversial statement he said, which I still have defended against Cam. Just saying that. But after that controversy, he did go out to have a more or less porous performance. But anywho, Philadelphia only won by 5 points. So with that 5-point spread, I think it's safe to risk that biscuit. I think that game was also in Carolina. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong last year. But now that the game's in Philadelphia, it's a morning game, everyone rise and shine. Well, there'll be 1 o'clock there in Philadelphia when the game kicks off. But as a West Coastian, I get to see the game at 10. Thank you, NFL Red Zone. And I think it's worth it. Cam Newton, I like Carolina. I still think Carolina will make the playoffs eventually this year. And this doesn't bode well for my case, but I was going to come on here and say they're a dark horse team to win, or at least get to the Super Bowl. But then again, they did that against Washington. Yes, I understand the Rams are 6-0 and they're really good and yada yada. But just because you're 6-0 don't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. Remember that 15-1 Packers team? Didn't win a single playoff game. Gone. 16-0 Patriots team. Lost Super Bowl. Just because you win a lot of games in the regular season, don't mean you're going to win games in the postseason. But I still have the Rams going to the Super Bowl as of now. Anywho, Philadelphia -5. I take it. You can't lose that one. And if you do, then maybe Carolina is more better than we thought. Take the Philadelphia Eagles -5. Second game we're going to look at has the Houston Texans going to Jacksonville, where the Jags are 5.5-point favorites at home. Wow. That is the exact opposite of what I've expected from the Jacksonville Jaguars in that game against the Cowboys. Now, you could have made the prediction that Dallas would have beaten them, and then you're like, it's not too far-fetched. Blake Bortles is the QB. This Jags team really rides or die with Blake Bortles, because they elected to keep him at their QB. So it's more of an up and down trail with him, and it's like, we're going to have faith in you, we're going to trust you, even though I personally said that they should have gone after Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is not a statty guy, is not a winning guy, but he's not going to lose you games, per se. Or be the reason you do lose. I mean, maybe he is, I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head how he was in Washington, but he was a stat pattern, so empty calorie yards. But anywho, Jacksonville has now lost a lot of followers and a lot of faith in them, including myself, doing my more rest of the season schedules. I actually have them now missing the playoffs. But that doesn't mean that not that these other teams in the division can still steal it. Tennessee is looking god-awful now, losing, 2 in a row now? 1 to Buffalo and 1 to Baltimore, getting shut out. And then Houston, if it weren't for Nathan Peterman, probably would have lost that game against the Bills. And the Colts are a dreaded 1-5, and at this point, no hope in making the playoffs. Not saying they couldn't, but at this rate, they ain't. So, it's highly speculated that Jacksonville could still run away with the division, but I think they're in a free-fall right now, and the defense is kind of collapsing on itself. So it's a little bit of a mixed match, a little more of a uncertainty, and I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who makes a good player, too. And I think after everything that's been going on, I'm going to say Houston does steal this one. It's in Jacksonville. But I still like the idea. This is maybe Deshaun Watson's first time starting against this team. And the defense has proven to be a little less than whatever. And I mean, Houston beat Dallas in Dallas. No, that game wasn't Houston. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, Houston beat the Cowboys. The Jaguars couldn't. So, by the transitive property, football doesn't follow that rule. So I don't know why I'm bringing it up. But I like Houston. It's a little risky the biscuit kind of game, and Jacksonville could easily win this game. It's a visual game, more or less. Even if you take Jacksonville, the +5.5 is going to be worth your while, because I think this is going to be a field goal deciding game, or at the very least even 4. You're going to get the points anyway, so whatever you choose to pick, it's up to you. But I would definitely take the plus 5.5 for Houston. In the third game, we're going to look at the game of the week by far, and personally, my game of the year vote when the schedule released. And goddamn us for losing to the freaking Browns, that this game couldn't be primetime. And now I actually have to work. See, if this game was primetime, I would have took that day off. But no, we want to watch the freaking Bengals because they're 4-2 and beat the Miami Dolphins. Woo! But anyway, that's when New Orleans heads to Baltimore, where the Ravens are currently 2.5-point favorites at home, which obviously tells me the odds makers think that the Saints are a better team by far. And while I will not disagree with that, home field advantage does matter in games like these. Now, Baltimore's coming off a 21-0 win shutout against the Tennessee Titans, where they sacked Mariota a franchise record 11 times, one short of the NFL record that the Giants set against the Philadelphia Eagles and Donovan McNabb back in 06, 07, somewhere in there, where what's that one dude got 6 sacks in that game. That sounds like I'm offending him. I'm not. I don't know his name, but it's somewhere along those lines. So don't get mad at me. Anywho, the Ravens are favored by 2.5. Coming off that impressive win against Tennessee. Offense, I feel like Tennessee, they did say, has a better defense, more or less. But I did feel like our offense was a little lackluster. And again, Joe Flacco's only interception was coming off Willie Snead doing his best Rashad Peterman impression. So, hey, you have those kind of moments. In a game where you have to play 60 minutes and your offense is pretty much on the field the entire time because the Titans are punting every single drive for 3 and outing, you can only expect so much. And yes, Alec Collin had 2 rushing TDs, but an otherwise quiet performance. Obviously, the defense shined throughout the entire game. Crabtree had a couple of nice catches and that touchdown. So you have that. And with New Orleans, they're coming off a bye after going through a tremendous Monday night victory against the Redskins, where Drew Brees broke more records and they just cruised over Washington. Although you could argue Washington kind of let it happen in that game, especially with the actual yard-breaking record pass play. They were pretty much a mile away from the receiver, who's a rookie, by the way. I don't know if y'all know this, but it was a rookie receiver who got the touchdown that helped break the passing yards record. But alas, Drew Brees now gets to play the lovely Ravens yet again, who last time these guys met was a Monday Night Football game. And the Ravens won that game 34-27 in the Dome, largely thanks to Justin Forsett in the running game and Will Hill's pick 6. Will Hill was a tremendous defensive player for us for a few years. Kind of sad he's not on the team, but you thank the players for what they've done. And a lot of people are riding the Saints wagon, especially Yahoo. Pretty much 70% of the people are taking the Saints, at least against the spread, or more than likely to win this game. But I, who am using no bias whatsoever and going purely based on what I've seen on the paper, I actually do like the Ravens to win this game. Because my sense of this is that the Ravens are now on a point where it's a tipping point whether or not they want to believe, where people want to believe that they're a contender or a pretender. And sitting at 4-2, it's impressive. But if you can knock off a team like the Saints, who have been on a roll essentially since that Week 1 flubbergaster against Tampa Bay and Ryan Fitzpatrick, it will say a lot. And if you're sitting 5-2, start of the season, you really can't go wrong. Because after that, they get Carolina, Pittsburgh, their bye, and then someone else. And then Cincy again. So they're going to get a bunch of home games after Carolina. So this is a good chance for the Ravens, if they can win this game, to sit at 5-2, and then pretty much probably be 6-2 or 7-2 or 6-3 coming into their bye. But can the Saints win this game? I'm pretty sure most people are predicting them to. I wouldn't be totally surprised if the Saints win this game. But if I'm going with a gambling prediction, again, you never have to follow my gambles. This is just my picks. As I've shown to prove in this against the spread thing, I am not very good at it. But I hope you all can forgive me. I like the Ravens in this game. 2.5 points. Go for it. this game is definitely not going to be a 1-point deciding game for the last second field goal. This game will definitely be. If I were to make a score prediction, probably not as dramatic as that 34-27 victory, but I would go somewhere still along those lines. I'd say maybe like 28-24, something like that. You're going to get the points anyway. And again, the Ravens defense is not to be mistaken. New Orleans offense, not to be mistaken. But they're also going to try to integrate Mark Ingram more into the offense and try to mix him with Kamara. So I like the Ravens. And that's it. Those are your picks. I move over here, like I always do. Let it scroll up, cover up Darth Vader for a little bit. Because he doesn't need all the screen time. He got that plenty of this in the 70s and 80s. And even now, a couple of years ago. So you don't need screen time. You got plenty. And based on these picks, pretty simple to say. Denver, Arizona, you're screwed either way, so just take Denver. Because we do think they are the better team. Chargers, they should win this game, but like the Chargers always do. The Chargers and the Lions. They win games, they should lose. Lose games, they should win. You can't trust them. Can't trust them. Pats will do fine. I like the Colts to win, but I think the Bills will cover. Because especially now that they are not starting Nathan Peterman. They're going to be starting Derek Anderson, a former Oregonian player. And yes, I keep track of these things. And I'm going to look like an idiot if this is not true, because I actually don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I still think the Colts will win, and the Colts are not a team that are just going to lose every single game, and Andrew Luck has to get another win eventually here. So I like them to win this game. Vikings will beat the Jets, and you can take the points, but this is also one of those quote-unquote track games, because the Jets are not a bad team. They're not a great team, but they're not a bad team. So it wouldn't be too surprising to see if this game's got close, or even if the +3 goes through. I like the -3 because I think the Vikings are still that better, much better of a team. But we shall see. Bucks and Browns, again, another toss-up. I hate this game, and I don't know what to think, but I'm going to go with the Bucks since they kept up essentially with an Atlanta team, who I guess is decimated and were 1 or 2 good plays away from a chance of stealing that game from Atlanta. So I like them there. Take the Rams with the Niners with the points, because the Niners proved that they're not that bad of a team. And then again, with Aaron Rodgers, everyone likes to give him, come-from-behind victories. That's not a come-from-behind victory to be proud of if it's against a really crappy team. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers fans. It's not that impressive. Good job. It took you an entire 60 minutes to beat a 1-win team who was without their quarterback and their running back at home on a Monday night game. Not that impressive. Say whatever you want. Not impressive. Good job, Green Bay. You're not on your bye. Now you get to face the Rams and the Patriots. I hope you lose by 40. Chiefs, spread's 5.5. I double that if you really want to. I don't think the Bengals are that good. I mean, they're good, but they're not. Whoa, good. They're not winning a playoff game. And yes, I'm being biased again, and going off of history about Marvin Lewis's lack of playoff wins. But hey, things like this happen for a reason. Redskins, Cowboys, this thing says even. This thing will tell you something. I like the Redskins, mainly because they're at home, and I don't trust Dallas. And then the Falcons will take care of the business with the Giants on Monday Night Football. We'll give the Giants 2 primetime games in a row. They knew they sucked last year. They knew they'd suck this year. You're all bad at your jobs. Whatever. Those are your picks for the week. Over into fantasy, I won in the LOA League, but lost in the Lottery League by 1 freaking point. Gersh, darn it. And I knew... it's whatever. Alvin Kamara was on the bye, therefore I didn't really have any star running backs. James White did decent, but not enough. And alas, I dropped to 4-2. Oh well. Still a lot of ground to make up. Nothing to worry about. All will be fine. Even though Devontae Adams is on the bye and Cooper Kupp is now ruled out for this week's game. Well. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your picks for the Week 7 of 2018. I am your host, TBCC. And with that, I tell you, pick smart. Not aggressive. smart. I'll see you all next week.